In this episode, we'll be discussing a recent tragic event that occurred over the holidays. This video is brought to you by realserious.com, where you can screen tenants 24 hours a day without submitting any documentation. Fortunately, for most people in the property management industry, the type of story we're highlighting today doesn't occur too often. But when it happens, we'd like to take a moment to make note of it because you might just be able to learn something. In the city of Coral Springs, Florida, just around Christmas time of 2021, a female real estate agent visited a house intending to show it as an available listing. She parked in the driveway and waited in her car, sitting in the driver's seat. All of a sudden, a man approached from the left side of the vehicle and fired 2 shots, killing her instantly at the scene. So you may be wondering, what does this have to do with being a landlord? Well, allegedly, the 50-year-old man that approached the car mistakenly thought that she was his prior landlord who recently evicted him from that same house. Luckily, the neighbors acted quickly and called the police, and the man was apprehended and charged with first-degree murder. Now, this case is brand new, so we don't know all of the facts, but what we do know is that allegedly, this man was trying to kill his prior landlord. So what can we learn from this? While rare, we see emotions can run very high between a landlord and tenant. Now, by no means are we implying that the prior landlord did anything wrong, but what we do want to stress is how important it is to handle your landlord-tenant relationship as carefully as you possibly can. If you have a tenant that's experiencing a serious financial hardship, or a tenant that's just bad, plain and simple, we always advise to keep an open line of communication with the tenant as best as you can. Try not to escalate a situation with emotions running high, but instead, maybe offer to help with the transition out of their unit. You could even provide some friendly advice, local resources, and if you think it's warranted, maybe even an incentive to leave peacefully. Only you will be able to determine at that time what's reasonable and best to end your relationship. Now, if you're faced with an irrational, irresponsible, and absolutely toxic tenant, then you may want to consider taking a step back and depersonalizing the situation. You do this by handing over the responsibility to a third-party entity, such as a property management company. While you can't always placate a deranged individual, it's best to avoid having a single person's face associated with the management of the tenancy. It's better to have an entity in its place. Like we said moments ago, tragic stories of this nature in property management are rare, but that doesn't mean something bad couldn't happen to you. So manage your rental property carefully and be quick to recognize the possibility of tensions boiling over. You know, they say you should never be afraid to enforce the terms of your rental agreement. But you know what? Mishandling your tenant might just end up terrifying you. If you would like to see more videos about being an American landlord, please like and subscribe.